Hello, dear children. I hope all of you are keeping fine. And in the previous video, you knew about the summary of this story, Oliver Finds a Home. And I think you might have gone through your book. Today, we will try to learn to read and understand the topics properly. So, all of you, please listen carefully and try to pay attention. Let us read. Mrs. Melly and Rose were waiting anxiously for the doctor to arrive. So you please try to learn to read this one. Marlie. This Marley is given, but you have to read it Melly. That R should remain silent. Mrs. Melly and Rose were waiting anxiously for the doctor to arrive. So as I have already told you earlier that this is given in the form of a dialect. So what is dialect? Dialect means talking to one another. So when you sit together somewhere and talk to one another, and whatever that you talk is written there in this cartoon form or this comic form, then this type of things are called the dialect form of prose writing. So this story or this topic is written in the dialect form. What the people are talking among themselves, the same thing. Whoever is talking, the thing is written in the boxes there, and that is indicating to the person who is talking. Next, so you can see in the first picture, you can see this Mrs. Rose is talking to Mrs. Marley, I think. So I hear the care is pulling up. That must be Dr. Lasburn. So you can see both of them are waiting in that dining table, and during that time one of them, that is Mrs. Rose, is hearing the sound of the carriage. So what is carriage? Do you know? That is carriage means that is the horse cart. So in the earlier time there were no motor car or jeep, etc. This motor driven things were not there. So people were using the horse cart, bullock cart, etc. And well-to-do people, those who are very high up people, they were using the horse cart, and the horse carts were called the carriage. So you can see this carriage came nearby this side, and that must be Dr. Lasburn. One is talking to the other one. So on the other, in the next picture you can see, oh please, will you come upstairs and look at the poor thing? So the doctor is in, and you can see this two ladies are welcoming the doctor, and they are happily welcoming the doctor, and they are asking the doctor to go upstairs and see the poor thing. What is the poor thing? Poor thing means they are indicating to the boy who is laying in the bed suffering from some injury. So that was this Oliver. So this boy Oliver was injured, and he was kept upstairs in the servants' room. So the doctor is being asked to go to there and to examine the patient. Next, the doctor is speaking. Certainly, perhaps Giles can lead me to the room where he is resting. So you may please read that one, Giles, Giles. So Giles is name of the servant, and doctor is telling that Giles can lead me to the upstairs. Then what happened? Let us see. Next, the doctor stayed in the patient's room for a long time and asked for few things. So you can see the doctor stayed in that patient's room and examined him, and he asked for certain things. What things did he ask for? You can see, bring some warm water and more clean sheets. So he asked for warm water and clean sheets. Clean sheets means what? This is clean bed sheet, etc., clean clothes. So all these things were ordered by the doctor to treat the patient. And now let us see next one. You can see at last the doctor returned to the dining room to speak to the ladies. So the doctor coming back to the dining room to speak to the ladies. Here this Mrs. Melly is asking, I hope he is not in danger. So he's telling that, is the patient okay? Is the patient all right? Then another one is telling, no, Mrs. Melly, he will be, no, Mrs. Maylie, he will be well again in a week or two. So the doctor is telling, no, he is not that much all right. So he will be taking some time to get complete health. So he will be well within a week or 2 weeks. So it will take some 1 week or 2 weeks to get well. Next, he is again asking, have you seen the thief? Have you seen the thief? Then he is asking to this ladies, had they seen the thief? So you can see here in the second page, the ladies had not seen the thief yet. So they had not gone to see that boy. Then when they entered the room, they stared in surprise. They stared in surprise means they saw that boy in surprise. Okay. So one is talking. Why? He is a mere child. This poor child cannot be a thief. Mrs. Marley is speaking. He cannot be, he is only a small boy. Mere child means only a small boy. He cannot be a thief. Then Mrs. Rose is speaking. Oh, the poor thing, auntie, don't let them send the boy to prison. So this Mrs. Rose is asking her auntie, don't let us not send this small boy to the prison. They got they showed kindness unto this boy. Okay, and the doctor is also now telling, let us discuss this in the next room. We must not wake him up. So they don't want to disturb the boy as he is sleeping. So they want to discuss about the matter in the next room. You can see in the next room what they are discussing. All three of them discussed the matter in whisper. We should listen to what he has to say. If he is innocent, then we can help him. If he is guilty, he should be handed over to the police. So the doctor is speaking that if the boy is found innocent, then he will be not handed over to the police. But if he is found that he is also a thief, then he should be given to the police. Then Mrs. Malley is agreeing with that. Yes, I agree, but I am certain that he is blameless. So this Mrs. Malley is sure that that boy may not be a thief at all. Next, let us see. In the evening, when Oliver woke up, he was tired, but he was also keen to tell his story. So Oliver woke up in the evening, and he was, even if he was tired, he was very much interested. He was very anxious to tell his story. The thieves wanted me to do all kinds of wrong things. They wanted me to rob your house, and then they left me wounded here. So he is telling out the truth before the two ladies, and they understood that boy. Then the ladies were moved by the story of Oliver's unhappy life. So Oliver told out all his life story to these two ladies, and the two ladies were moved. They felt very sorry for the life of this Oliver, and they become kind. Now you can see, we must not let the police take him away. I would not harm hair of his head. I would not harm one hair of his head. We must prepare the servants for when the police arrive. So the servants were expected to tell out the truth that this Oliver boy was also among the thieves. So that's why they are deciding to prepare that servants not to tell about Oliver, that Oliver was also there with the thieves. So in that way they wanted to help the boy. So today this much. You please try to learn to read this much, and in the next video we will continue with the remaining things. Thank you for listening.